When he says that Russia is definitely going to invade Ukraine, he's essentially telling the bully, do it. I dare you. You're going to do it, right? In Joe Biden's most recent press conference, he said a Russian invasion into Ukraine is imminent. And at first, I was like a lot of other people online, why does it seem like we're pushing for war? Is it really imminent? And then I realized that in this situation, to prevent war, we actually have to encourage it. I want to give you an example. Let's imagine there's a playground with 3 kids on the playground. There is the bully, we'll call him Russia. There's a nerd, we'll call him Ukraine. And then there's the spoiled rich kid on the sidelines who's not really involved, but he does have a say. We'll say that's the US. These are just stereotypes. Don't look too far into them. It's just so you remember the archetype of who everybody is. So the bully is actually pretty smart. And he's not the type of bully that likes to get his hands dirty. He's pretty big and strong because he's got nukes. But generally, he just kind of stands really close to people and intimidates them. And in this specific situation, he's been bullying this Ukrainian or nerd kid a lot. And he's just getting really close to him. And it seems like he really, really is going to take all of his lunch money this time, even though it's just been the threat of taking all of his lunch money. Now, us, as Americans, as this third party, the bully doesn't want to touch us because we're very rich, we're very powerful, we're very influential in this school. He has nothing to gain by bullying us, but he likes messing with us. He knows that when he messes with the nerds, it affects the social construct, and he just likes to cause chaos. So now for the umpteenth time, he's threatening the nerd, but it seems like he might actually throw a punch. Now, America, this third kid who's untouchable, but he wants to keep the peace. He doesn't want to jump in and fight because that will just get really, really messy. It could be the end of the whole school if he jumps in and fight. But what can he say to this bully to back him down? Now, he could tell the bully, don't do it. Please don't do it. He could tell the school, there's no way he's going to do it. Put yourself in the shoes of the bully, or just in your own life when someone's telling you like, no, you're not going to do it. Just don't do it. People have an innately rebellious nature. You might want to do it just because someone's telling you you're not going to do it. I'm not the biggest fan of Joe Biden, but in this case, I think he's actually being pretty smart, or his administration is doing a really good job. Because essentially, when he says that Russia is definitely going to invade Ukraine, he's essentially telling the bully, do it. You're going to do it, right? And let's say the bully actually hits the nerd. Russia actually invades Ukraine. Then he proves America right. And no matter what, Vladimir never wants to give America face. If anything, one of his main goals is just to be a troll, is to cause chaos, is to make us look like idiots. So in this case, Biden, by telling Russia that you're definitely going to do it, this means that if Russia does it, he makes America kind of look right. He makes our intelligence look superior, which he doesn't want to do. And if he steps down, he's backing off. He also doesn't look good. Now, both of these situations, aggroing and also stepping back, become lose-lose. And that's the beauty of doing this. And I think the Biden administration, they know way more than all of us, like significantly more. Who knows what spies and secret channels of information they have. They've definitely made a calculated decision at some point that they need to spread this narrative. And in the past, I think America has actually been truthful to a fault, where we tell our populace what's actually going on. But saying what's actually going on and giving all the details of everything could actually not be beneficial in keeping the peace. In this case, even if they actually had a lot of doubts that Putin is probably not going to invade, because there is a lot of downside to an actual invasion, to an actual war of a sovereign country. The way Biden is handling this by essentially broadcasting this message that they're definitely going to do it is kind of our best chance at preventing them from actually going in. Because even if it were a completely advantageous move, Putin does not want America to look good. He wants our intelligence to look incompetent. So if he goes in, that's +1 for our intelligence. And that's why I hope we don't go to war. I think they're doing a good job, and we'll just have to see. Regarding the markets, if you're invested in growth stocks or the general S&P 500, we've already fallen a lot. We could always fall more, but I think your original strategy, if you had a sound buy and hold long-term outlook and you're not using any money that you need to live, then you shouldn't sell off. You should just continue to hold. The reality is that if Russia really does invade Ukraine, unfortunately, we are not going to go defend them. It's very unlikely, close to zero, because Biden has repeatedly said that he's not going to go in. He does not want to risk essentially a third world war. If we go to war with Russia, who has nukes, that's a third world war. Joe Biden is a very unhawkish president compared to our past presidents. So that's definitely not a worry. We don't have any major financial ties with Ukraine. They don't give us any specific value. You know, the reason we went into Iraq is because they had oil. Ukraine has no such upside for us. There's no reason for us to really defend them, at least no hard reason other than, you know, the spreading of democracy. I wouldn't worry about that. In the short term, there's definitely going to be a lot of volatility, but in the long term, just Ukraine getting taken over by Russia, it would not materially affect us that much. Yeah, that's it. Just some of my thoughts. Hopefully no war. Hope you have a good weekend.